What's going on, YouTube? It's Christian Hernandez here. Today we are at the Compass Pasadena office. It's the last Friday of year 2023, and I want to share one of my wins that came from a door knock this year, one of my most memorable sales of year 2023, and just kind of want to put it out there too, just because door knocking looks down upon, especially because it's the old school way of getting business and no one opens up the door to strangers anymore. But I personally am a big fan of door knocking. It's one of my pillars for my business. 4 out of my 6 deals this year came from a door knock, and a lot of opportunities come from it. So just want to share this out there. So maybe if you're looking to get into real estate, this can help you. Or maybe if you're an OG in the business and you want to get back into door knocking, maybe this could just give you a little bit of motivation to go back to it, right? So I want to share how this deal was put together. So this deal started from an open house. I was hosting an open house on the northwest side of Pasadena. I had this client walk in and we got into a great conversation. This person had mentioned that they had been searching for 3 years, which to me, that's a long search, and not being able to find something even in this lack of inventory, that is still a long time. So to me, there was something that wasn't clicking there. So, I asked her for her criteria and she was able to share it with me. And before she left the open house, I actually asked her for her to share her contact info. But how it is in every open house, a lot of buyers don't want to give out their information because there's a lot of I would say sharks out there that a lot of agents that constantly reach out and they don't know how to follow up properly. So people get annoyed of that. So I completely understood that she didn't want to share her contact, but she was able to leave me her full name. She wrote it down and she actually left me her email, which I tried following up with her, but that email didn't really lead to anything. So that's where I met this person, right? Because that's like very important to the story. So 2 weeks after that, I was out there door knocking the same neighborhood that I had hosted that weekend, and I came across this particular property. I talked to this owner and they had mentioned that the house right in front of them was going to sell in the coming weeks. So what I did after I talked to them, I crossed the street and I was able to catch the people that were working on the house still. So I was able to get a walkthrough that day. And, I was able to get all of the input that the property was selling. And I was also able to pull the contact of the seller, the actual phone number. So what I did the next day, that I reached out to the seller and I asked them if they were open to selling selling the property off market, which they were, but their number to sell off market was 1.7. The property was 2,800 square feet. It was a 6 bedrooms, 3 baths. It's set on a 10,000 square foot lot with a huge pool. So when I looked at comparable sales around the neighborhood, I thought 1.7 was achievable, and it was actually a good deal for the actual house. The house was pretty much restored. When you think of Pasadena and Craftsman, you think of this house, hardwood floors, the molding, the original molding, so much light in the house. It was a beautiful Craftsman, right? So after I walked this property, I just thought to myself, wow, this is the perfect match to this person that I had met at the open house two weeks ago, right? So what I did is, I thought to myself, like, how do I reach out to this person when I already tried following up via email and they didn't get back to me? So I didn't wait. So what I did is I went on a Google search. I went deep into the internet and I was able to find their phone number. I was able to find this person's phone number and I reached out with value. I reached out. I believe the first text message was this: hey, I don't know if you found the one yet, but I met you at blah 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 street for the open house. I actually have this off market property. I think you'd be interested in in possibly buying this, right? And then I sent her, I believe I sent her like a couple pictures, and I sent her the description of the property, and this person was actually interested. So what I did after is, I did mention that if I did find this for them, I would represent them to make things clear. And you should always make things clear, because at the end of the day, we are here to make money and make things happen. So that is part of it. And actually, when you do things off market, you technically always double end things, meaning that you represent the buyer and the seller a lot of the times. But at this time, the seller actually already was working with an agent. So I completely understood. So I went directly to that to the listing agent, even though it was off market. And I had all conversations with that particular agent. So once my client understood that, that I was going to be able to, I was going to bring this off market, but I was going to represent them, they were completely okay. I'm pretty sure it was due to the amount of time that they had been searching for. They just want to get into something. So if I remember correctly, we had the conversation with the buyer that was interested in the off market on a Wednesday. Then on Friday, we actually had the first walkthrough. And by that next Tuesday, we opened escrow at 1.7 with these buyers that I met at the open house, and with this seller that I had door knocked, which was very exciting. And everything went well with the escrow. Every escrow is a roller coaster of its own. We jumped over a little bit of hurdles, but 30 days after, we were actually getting the keys for this property. My buyers were super excited to get this amazing deal, just because 2 months after, something sold with almost similar criteria, 500K over the asking price, and it put them like over 2 million with the same square footage. So they were very happy with that. So at the time, they knew that they were getting a good deal, and the seller was happy because they got their number that they were looking for, and they walked away with a win too as well. So this was one of my most memorable sales this year. And if you are an agent, if you want to reach out, if you have questions how I'm doing things, I'm more than open to sharing with you. I'm by any means not a master of the craft yet, but I do like to say that I am very good at finding off-market properties. And if you're a buyer out there that is struggling to find something, I would love to chat with you and see what your criteria is, and maybe I could put you on an off-market list that I have for me to reach out when I have something off-market, see if it fits for you. If you're looking here in the northeast side of LA, anything from like Los Feliz all the way out to Glendora, it's a pretty broad area, but I do go all over. It all depends where my clients take me. But yeah, hope you guys have a great new year. I'm very excited for 2024. I know that inventory is still going to be low due to the number one, the lack of people wanting to sell because of the low interest rates. And we do hear that interest rates are dropping. But to be quite honest with you, certain pockets here in LA have not been affected by the higher interest rates due to the higher income that we do have here in this market, right? So hope you guys have a wealthy day, and I'll talk to you guys later.